The Detroit Lions just surprised and fooled the whole NFL. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Detroit Lions news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. The first story is the Detroit Lion contenders move quickly to sign former Buccaneers starter. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneers safety Kayon Merryweather didn't stay unemployed for too long. Just 2 days after the Buccaneers released Merryweather, the Detroit Lions signed him to their practice squad on November 20, giving the Michigan native an opportunity to come home and play for a Super Bowl contender. Merryweather made the Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent out of Iowa in 2023 and started 2 games as a rookie. He played in 9 games for the Buccaneers in 2024 in mostly a special teams role, something that could make him a valuable person to this Lions right away. Merryweather played at Romulus and Belleville High School, finishing his career at the latter. MLive.com's Benjamin Raven wrote on November 20 after Merryweather signed with the Lions. He was a basketball and football star, eventually landing at Iowa as a defensive back. The Michigan native was a 4-year player for the Hawkeyes, posting 4 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 118 tackles in that span. Merryweather coming home and winning a Super Bowl could make getting released by the Buccaneers end up looking like a blessing. So, by losing his job, Merryweather may have wound up with even a better job. He also grew up cheering for the Lions, which should tell you something about his loyalty. Born in Belleville, Michigan in December 1999, Merryweather would have spent his childhood watching some truly horrendous football. The Lions didn't have a winning season from 2001 and until 2011, when Merryweather was 12 years old. That stretch included a 0-16 season in 2008. I definitely take pride. I think, that's me. And 2 or 3 other people from Michigan here, I believe, Merryweather told Raven at the 2023 NFL Combine. So, I definitely take pride in it. I think we had a lot of talent in my class coming out of Michigan, so the fact that I'm one of the few people here from the state of Michigan representing well is something I definitely take pride in. I did grow up a Lions fan, and man, it's definitely incredible to see the turnaround. I think they had a building season this year, and I definitely think they're going to turn it around next year. I think they're just going to keep building on top of what they've been able to do so far. Now, when it comes to this as well, we also do see that when it comes to a team like Detroit Lions, they definitely could use a player of Merryweather's caliber due to the fact that he definitely does provide a lot more than just the tangible things that you see. So when it comes to this pick, or this signing, I definitely think it is a really, really good idea, especially with the injuries that Detroit Lions have so far faced, so far this season. And I do think when the time comes, he may definitely come in handy, which could definitely pay off, especially when it comes playoff or even Super Bowl time. It definitely does see that the Detroit Lions are looking to go all the way this season. They're not holding anything back. They have an opportunity to win the NFL Super Bowl, even against some tough teams. And although Chiefs are definitely one of those teams to look out for, I definitely see Detroit Lions having a great shot at being able to get this win and go all the way. So the second story is the Detroit Lions are now the Super Bowl favorites. Now, Detroit Lions are currently betting on the favorite to win the Lombardi Trophy, and this one's an interesting one because they have been putting on an absolute show so far this season. After soundly defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars at Ford Field, the Detroit Lions are now betting favorites to win the NFL Super Bowl. Now, Detroit's 52-6 win was a thorough performance against an opponent dealing with a myriad of issues who could replace their head coach as early as Monday morning. However, Detroit are now ahead of the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, and Ravens as the betting favorite to hoist the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson credited Detroit's defense for not giving up touchdowns when the offense was able to move the football into the red zone. They just played their scheme. They just played their defense. It's a good defense. They played fast today and they did a nice job, Peterson said. We got in the high red zone area and they did a nice job holding on to us. There's a couple of times they just played their deal. Detroit are now currently in a great position to win it all, and I do believe they have a very, very good shot to make that happen. Now, the Detroit Lion fans, however, were also furious over some analyst comments about the team and what he called Jared Goff. Now, Detroit Lions are furious over what this analyst said, and after their 8th straight win in the weekend of the Jacksonville Jaguars, where they played them with a very outstanding win, the Lions became the betting favorite to win the NFL Super Bowl, but Nick Wright wasn't a fan of it. Wright said he doesn't think the Lions can win their first Super Bowl because they have a civilian playing quarterback. I don't think you can get the best team in the league when you have a civilian at quarterback, Wright said. I can't say this team with Jared Goff at quarterback is better than the Chiefs or the Bills. I can't and I won't. In the modern NFL, I think it's very, very difficult to win 3 straight playoff games with a guy, even he's a good guy, at quarterback. That's what I feel they have. You can be mad, that's my opinion on the Lions. Seems a bit harsh. Goff has been very good on Honolulu Blue for about 2.5 years now, and it's not like this is a fluke. Goff has been one of the most efficient passers in the league through 10 games this season, completing 73 of his attempts for an average of 9.2 yards. These aren't many people with negative things to say about the Lions right now, but hey, someone's always going to try and stand out and be that guy in this situation. So with week 13 just around the corner, we got already some great bets for the NFL week 13, and this is on BetUS. Now, if you haven't heard of BetUS, guys, they have the fastest payouts in the industry, fast and easy deposit and withdrawal process, which I absolutely love. And right now they do have 150% bonus on your first deposit and then 125% bonus on your next 2 deposit up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. So definitely go check them out. They definitely have already a lot of early bets, which I absolutely love to see. One of my favorite bets is the Detroit Lions to beat the Chicago Bears. Definitely give this one a look. But when it comes to BetUS, I absolutely love using them. Use them all the time. They have the fastest payouts in the industry, like I mentioned. And right now they do have 150% bonus on your first, deposit, and then 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. So definitely go check them out. Thank you again to BetUS, and let's get back into today's video. The third story is that the Detroit Lions should absolutely consider signing Super Bowl champ from the 49ers. Now, the Detroit Lions are favorites to come and win the NFL Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean that above improving on their team and bringing in new talent is off the table. Looking ahead, Matt Holder of Bleacher Report has a suggestion for the Detroit Lions. In Bleacher Report's November 18 feature on prioritizing every roster's biggest weakness ahead of Week 12, he recommended bringing on a particular player from the San Francisco 49ers who has appeared in 2 Super Bowls and to help beef up the Lions squad. In the feature, Holder said the Detroit Lions should jump on a chance to sign cornerback Charvarius Ward from the San Francisco 49ers during 2025 free agency. He also lists cornerback as the number 1 need for the Lions at the moment, followed by edge rusher, offensive line depth, wide receiver depth, and left guard. The Lions took several stabs at the cornerback position this past offseason, trading for Carlton Davis and using early draft picks on Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw Jr. However, secondary play has still been one of Detroit's few weaknesses in 2024. He noted, add in the fact that Davis will be a free agent in the spring, and the Lions absolutely should consider its cornerback options on the open market. Holder added, signing San Francisco 49ers quarterback Charvarius Ward would be a win for any team with Super Bowl aspirations. He's a high-level starter on the perimeter and has wealth of postseason experience, having appeared in Super Bowls for both the 49ers and Kansas City Chiefs. Holder also suggests picking up edge JT from Ohio State in the 2025 NFL draft as well. So they're not only just looking at the present, they're also looking at the future as well. And he was stating that he would be a terrific draft target for Detroit, and he has the skills to bolster the pass rush while fitting right in the Lions' aggressive run defense. The Detroit Lions are not only just looking good, but they're looking great. Are the Detroit Lions the best team in the NFL right now? They just might be. Someone from the Holder lineup did mention. Now, there's still room for improvement on defense. But when the offense is playing as it did during Sunday's 52-6 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, it doesn't matter. With that in mind, Holder actually suggests that right now, the Lions don't need to change anything. Could we see the Lions scour the free agent market and other practice squads for veteran depth ahead of the postseason? Sure. But there's still a little reason for Detroit to make any significant moves right now, he wrote. The Lions keep finding ways to win. even when they ain't playing flawlessly and they address their biggest need at the trade deadline, he added. While recent additions of Darius Smith won't outright replace Aiden Hudson, he better than any player than the Lions may find available in mid-November. He added, with $62.1 million in projected 2025 car space, the Lions have a financial flexibility to continue building a powerhouse in the offseason. So the Detroit Lions can definitely put something together, but Colts also signed the former guard Mark Klosinski ahead of a Lions stint. Now, the Indianapolis Colts actually announced that they have signed guard